Ever feel like you just want the core of something, the real heart of it, without, you know, digging through tons of text?
Yeah, get right to the good stuff.
Exactly. That's what we do here on the Deep Dive. Think of it as your shortcut to really getting it.
Mm-hmm.
And today, we're heading back, way back, to look at the very first big moment for a truly legendary figure, a story that still packs a punch today.
We've got some great material to work with, too. Our listeners sent in parts of Dr. Pooyan Ghamari's Rostam's Awakening, Taming the Beast Within, which is a more modern take.
Right.
And we also have the original verses from Ferdowsi's Shahnameh itself, so kind of the classic source.
The original epic, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic combo. See how this key moment is viewed then and now.
Definitely.
So our mission, really, is to unpack this first big act of Rostam's. What happened, sure, but also why did it matter so much?
Yeah.
What does it tell us about him, about why we still talk about him?
Makes sense. Where do we start? The setting.
Let's do that. Paint the picture for us. Where does this all go down?
Okay, so picture the Persian court. Grand, regal, at the center of power. But right now, it's chaos.
Chaos. Why?
Because this enormous, wild white elephant has somehow appeared and is just rampaging. Absolute terror has gripped everyone.
Wow, okay. So not exactly a normal day at court.
Not at all. And you have these hardened warriors, right? Guys used to battle, and they're just paralyzed, frozen by fear.
But that says a lot about this elephant.
It really does. It highlights the sheer scale of the danger.
Okay, so total panic, and into this scene walks Rostam. What's his deal at this point? Is he already the big hero?
Well, that's the interesting part. The sources, they really emphasize how young he is.
Oh, okay, so not the seasoned champion yet.
Not yet, but even though he's young and even though everyone else is terrified, he just steps forward purposefully.
No hesitation.
Doesn't seem like it. It's described as focus, not like, reckless youth, just intention.
And that contrast is stark, isn't it?
Yeah.
The experienced guys are stuck,
Yep.
and this young man moves forward.
Exactly. It immediately sets him apart.
So how does he do it? How does this young guy handle a giant, furious elephant?
It's described pretty vividly. Dr. Ghamari uses this phrase that Rostam uses the royal noose with a grace as ancient as the stars.
Wow, okay, poetic.
It implies something innate, right? Not just strength, but skill, maybe even destiny.
And
And then this is the truly incredible part. He apparently lifts the elephant right off the ground.
lifts the elephant with his hands.
That's how it's told. The sources make it clear this is like a superhuman feat, almost impossible.
Did they explain how? I mean, at that age?
It leans more into his almost mythical nature, his unique heritage, maybe. There's this sense of inherent extraordinary power he just has. Less about technique, more about who he is.
Right, so it's a sign, almost supernatural. What did the court do, the people watching this?
Silence.
Yeah.
Just stunned silence.
I bet.
And the king himself, overcome with awe. That reaction really hammers home how extraordinary this was. It's like a declaration.
Yeah.
Someone new, someone powerful has arrived.
A defining moment. Now, you mentioned symbolism earlier. This white elephant. It's not just a big animal, is it?
No, not at all. And this is where Dr. Ghamari's analysis is really insightful. In Persian symbolism, the elephant represents power, yes, but also chaos.
Chaos, okay.
Think about it. Untamed beasts often stand for forces that threaten order, right? So Rostam taming it isn't just showing off his muscles.
It's symbolic.
Exactly. It's about restoring harmony, taming the chaos that threatens the kingdom. Like Dr. Ghamari puts it, Rostam's act is a declaration that harmony shall be restored and that the son of Zal has arrived.
That adds a whole other layer. It's about imposing order.
Yeah.
And this moment, it's captured in the Shahnameh too, right? The original poem.
Oh, absolutely. We have the verses. Let me read the English translation they provided. It captures it so well.
Yeah, please do.
When Rostam beheld the wild beast rise, none such had walked beneath the skies. So, emphasizing how unique this threat was,
Right.
he cast the royal noose with power and poise and silenced the creature's thunderous noise. See? Power, but also poise. Control. He raised it high with a single hand and drew praise from all across the land.
Raised it high with a single hand. Just incredible imagery. And everyone recognizes it immediately.
Instantly. His heroic status is cemented right there.
You can just picture the scene, the shock turning into admiration. Now, something else comes up around this time. His horse, Rakhsh. How does he fit in?
Ah, Rakhsh. This is another fascinating piece. Rakhsh wasn't just, picked out from a stable.
No.
The story goes that Rakhsh was the only horse strong enough to actually bear Rostam.
Really? So it was fated.
It feels that way, like a destined partnership. It taps into this Persian idea of the warrior and his steed being almost one spirit, essential for their journey.
So horse and rider emerging together.
Exactly. It signifies Rostam stepping into his full potential.
It feels like we're moving beyond just the physical act here. What's the deeper meaning behind taming this elephant?
Well, Dr. Ghamari suggests something quite profound. What if the elephant isn't just an external beast?
What else could it be?
What if it represents inner forces? The ego, the chaos, the unknown, as Ghamari puts it.
Oh, okay, an internal battle too.
Right. So Rostam's victory isn't just physical dominance over an animal, it's a sign of self-mastery, inner clarity, control over the chaos within, which allows him to face the chaos without. How does that land with you?
That resonates. It makes it less about ancient myths and more about, well, about us, facing our own elephants. How does this connect to today for the listener?
I think the connection is powerful. The source points out that legends aren't just about who your parents were or being born special.
It's about action.
Exactly.
That's
It's
it.
forged through action, through inner clarity, through serving something bigger than yourself. There's a great quote. You are not born a legend. You become one the moment you choose to face the impossible with truth in your heart.
Face the impossible.
Yeah. For you, the listener, maybe the impossible isn't a literal elephant, but think about those huge challenges, the things that feel overwhelming. This story says you find your strength when you choose to face them.
That definitely changes the perspective. It's about choice, not just destiny. So this first battle, it wasn't an ending. It was the start.
The very start. It's framed not as him grabbing power, but as him stepping into his purpose, restoring order, serving the realm. That act sets the tone for his whole life, his whole legend.
Okay, so let's pull this together. The core idea from this deep dive into Rostam's first big moment, it's way more than just brute strength.
Much more.
It's about inner strength meeting outer chaos.
Yeah.
It's about clarity, decisive action, and the arrival of someone truly significant, all wrapped up in taming that symbolic elephant.
Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah.
And maybe the final thought for you listening to this is about that potential within yourself, that fire, as the source calls it.
The fire within.
Yeah. Rostam's awakening wasn't just random power. It was a conscious response to chaos. Remember that line. He steps into destiny, not for power, but for purpose. And in doing so, he reminds us of the fire we all carry within, the strength to rise, the right to act, and the silence before glory.
The strength to rise, the right to act. So the question becomes, what impossible thing are you ready to face? Something to think about.
Definitely.
Thanks for diving deep with us today.